start. I would like to extend my warm welcome to all the dignitaries of the dais and of the dais. I would like to give a very brief introduction of the dignitaries on the dais. Our chief guest for today's program is P.J. Lalmund Jonga. He is Minister of State for Law and Judicial and Parliamentary Affairs, for Transport, and for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Department. We are very fortunate to have you here, sir. It is a very important meeting, very important seminar for us, and a person representing from state is always welcome. As our plan is to develop some guidelines or some suggestions based on our discussions. So that we wanted a representative from the state. So very much thank you to come to us, sir. Thank you. The chairman of this session is our Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor, Mr. Rampal Padilla. Sir, very thank you to you to kindly consent to come to the program. He came to Mizoram in 1995, a very long 85, sorry, yes. sorry, 85. At that time, Mizoram University was not there. It was a campus of Northeastern University. And he came during that time. And his wide experience in Mizoram is much more than us. So we feel that, sir, you can contribute much for this seminar. Sir belongs to a state which is known for agriculture, Punjab. And this program is on agribusiness. He is having exposure to this place also, more than 30 years, or nearly 30 years now. So, sir, this combination of this representing a state which is advanced in agriculture and your experience here will help us a lot to develop our offerings or our suggestions. Thank you, sir, for coming. Then we are having guest of honor, Mr. S.N. Malik. He is General Manager of NABARD. And very late hours actually we contacted him, and we are very grateful to you, sir, that you accepted our request at very last moment and you consented and came on time. Thank you, sir, for being here. And our association will continue after this seminar also. As this agriculture has to do with NABARD, so we will be in close association, we will be working for now. Then I would like to introduce Dr. T. Satyanarayana, sitting on that side. He is Secretary of Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, Hyderabad. This seminar is jointly organized by our Department of Commerce, Mizoram University, and the society. So he is coming all the way from Hyderabad to attend this program. I would like to highlight, he did his MSc, he did his MA, he did MBA, he did LLB, he did PhD, and again he did PhD. He is double PhD. So it's great, sir, you could get this much time to study. And he is associated with the society since 1984-86. Since beginning of the society, he is actively participating there, and they are having a chain of such seminars in different states. All the states they are going every year. This year it is chance of our university, our state, to represent him. Thank you, sir, for conceptualizing this kind of thought to come out with some policy documents for each state from suggestions out of the stakeholders. Thank you, sir, for this novel idea. I would like to welcome Professor Tabuddin Kumar, sir. He is our senior professor in our school. He belongs to Library and Information Science Department. Yes, sir, we are very welcome. He is a member of our board of studies. At all the meetings, he is always present and is always there to extend all helpful hints, all helpful suggestions. So, sir, I thank you for all those suggestions what you are offering, and we expect that will continue in long. I welcome you, sir. Then, before going for other introduction, I would would like to request our students to help our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor sir to offer a gift to the chief guest of the system. I would like to request our students to help Dr. Satyanarayana sir to offer a gift to our Pro Vice Chancellor sir.
Yes.
I would like to request Dr. Nakutin Kumar sir to offer a gift to our guest of honor, Mr. Malik. I would like to request Dr. Ramana Swami Madam to give gift to our Pro Vice Chancellor. To Vadi Kumar sir. I would like to give a brief introduction of our department. So, our department was established in the year 2002. We are running 4 courses of now. MCOM with 14 days. We are having PhD with as per UGC law. We started in 2006. We are having MPhil course. We started in 2010 with 10 intake. And last year only we started PO course with intake of 50. PO course is on handloom weavers. In addition to these, we are having entrepreneurship knowledge cell funded by Medco, Government of Mizoram. We are running some workshops under this. We are having 7 extension posts in the department and 3 non-teaching staff, backbone of our department. So far, we have produced approximately 400 MCOM students, and as of now, 77 are ongoing. We have produced 19 MPhils and 8 are ongoing now, and we have produced 12 PhDs and 20 are ongoing. With this introduction, I would like to introduce the seminar. This seminar, the idea is agribusiness potential of Mizoram. And as I told, this is a part of a series of seminars conducted by the society in each state. This time it is our state. So we have conceptualized this for 2 days program. There will be 3 technical sessions. First technical session will be just after finishing this inaugural, and that will be on farming and marketing. The chairman for the seminar will be Sri Jawahar. He is IAS and Secretary of Commerce and Industries, Government of Mizoram. And there will be 7 presentations under this session. Then the second session, which will be held after first session today itself, that will be on finance and livelihood. And the chairman for the session will be Sri Balla Chouanga. He is IA and AS, and he is Secretary of Finance Department, Government of Mizoram. In this session, 9 papers will be there. Then third technical session will be tomorrow morning, and it will be on horticulture and veterinary science. And the chairman for the session will be Dr. C. Lalzil Liana. He is Director retired from Agriculture Department, Government of Mizoram. And number of papers in this session will be 10. After this, we will be having a plenary session that will be moderated by Dr. Sundaran as well. And the idea of this is we have invited some stakeholders from the state and some faculty members from different departments. And there will be a 1.5 hour discussion on different issues pertaining to agricultural development and marketing. And we will try to develop policy paper suggestions for the stakeholders, government, and that we will give to the state government as outcome of this seminar. And after that there will be a valedictory session, and so tomorrow it will be finishing. That is a brief idea about the program we are going to conduct today. Now I would like to request Dr. Satyanarayana sir to come and tell something about his society. He is doing a great job through this society. So what are the objectives of the society and all he will highlight, and then he will give a brief idea about the theme of the seminar, sir.
Leaders, students, media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on behalf of Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, I express gratitude to the Vice Chancellor who have offered to host the seminar in your campus. Special thanks to this university who have taken interest in agribusiness of the state. I am very sure that the university will contribute the best for the development of agribusiness in the years to come. I wish to say a few words about the Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, which is the collaborator of this seminar. This society was founded in 1986 and became active since 1987, and without any interruption, we have been organizing annual conferences, taking the ongoing important issues in agricultural marketing, discuss and then forward the recommendations to respective organizations. And also some seminars of domestic importance and also international subject. And since 2008, we have started this agribusiness series in different states. Agribusiness potential of different states. And this is the 14th state we are organizing this type of seminar. And after each seminar, we have brought out the volume presenting all the outcome of the seminars, forwarding it to the respective organizations to take necessary developmental activities. And as you know, or many of the scholars know, Mizoram has got an excellent potential in agri production. And some of them are high value crops, but most of them are produced, consumed and perished within the state. The production is very haphazard, aimless, and they never think of the market linkages. For what of various reasons. It could be socio-economic, it could be cultural, it could be inherent inactivity of the system. Whatever may be the reason, but the produce of the state has high commercial value. Once you really put it into the agri chain, and I am sure that the farmers of this state will be immensely benefited. Though your regular crops are like rice, cotton, sugarcane, etc., you have exotic crops like passion fruit, bird eye chilies, and a lot of floriculture activities also around. You produce, but do not link up with the mainland markets. That is the biggest flaw in the marketing system present in this state. The production, it is having potential, it is having the quantity is also reasonably very high, but doesn't get into the marketing stream. Most of the times we talk of connectivity, which is very easy for us to complain that we are not having connectivity. But today the government of India has come with a proposal to make the nation a single market by proposing electronic marketing, e-norm, that is what it's called. A producer, a seller, a farmer can sell his produce by sitting here across the country if he is more vibrant, more visual, entrepreneurial, he can even sell his produce outside the country borders. So this e-norm concept is a wonderful concept. It will completely neutralize the problem of connectivity. So this is to be now made more popular, and your farmers should be geared up to get into this system of e-norm. Then coming to the seminar as such, we have almost 25 papers covering almost all the subjects relevant to agribusiness in Mizoram state. And this discussion of the seminar will be brought out in the form of a volume, and that will be again given to all the scholars, paper writers, and other organizations related to agribusiness, both in the state as well as the center. And a special appeal to the minister, fortunately, is here, and he is young enough to take the agribusiness forward in the state. And these recommendations may kindly be taken seriously by the state, the government, and try to implement as much as is possible. Wherever there is a speed breaker, wherever there is a snag, they can invite the experts and get the problems solved as and when they arise. So our society's services are always available to underline, free of cost. We will be willing to come and help the state government or any other organization or a farmer groups to further their agribusiness activity in the state without any cost. So this is an assurance from the society. So finally, to say special thanks to the paper writers to have taken pains to write good papers, and I also wish they should participate in the discussion actively and help draw viable recommendations. Luckily, we have very eminent people to chair the technical sessions, and I am very sure that the recommendations of the seminar will go a long way in the economic development of Mizoram state. To say a word about the availability of the minister, he has taken time to come here, grace the occasion, and also hope that he will take this seminar output also to get a formula. And I expected a minister, very huge personality, lot of this thing. Our side ministers means it's a different picture. So he is so simple, young, dynamic enough. So I am especially thankful to him to have taken time to grace this action. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. I hope to see you again.
Thank you, Dr. T. Sundaram, for your brief introduction about the society. Then a brief introduction about the theme, all the theme, and the way we are going to proceed. Thank you, sir, for elaborating that. He talked about e-marketing. He promised that the services offered by his society will be extended to our state if we are willing, and that will be free of cost. So thank you, sir, for offering that service to us. He thanked all the contributors, 26 to be precise, we are having as of now. So he thanked to all of them, and then at last he praised the minister for being very simple and very polite. Sir, this is your first visit here. I welcome again being a first person here. That is the common thing in Mizoram. When I came, I was also thinking like this only. That minister means at least 5 cars before and then 6 cars behind. Convoy should be there. But when I saw here a single car, even for governor only one, because that is protocol, so that is there only one vehicle with him. So sir, if you visit my university, I am from BHU, National University. When VC moves, there are 3-4 cars with me. So actually I was a little surprised when I came by seeing this culture here. Sir, one more thing you will be surprised to see. This society, Mizo society is a classless society in deed, in perfect. It is not only in words, in deed they are classless. You will find chief minister standing behind you when they are taking food. So there is no preference kind of thing. Everyone is same in this state. That is unique thing. And I hope that will continue forever. Thank you, sir, for all your speech. Then I would like to request Mr. S.N. Malik, sir, he is General Manager of NABARD, to give a short speech. Sir.
Inglam Chibai, very good morning. Our dear chief guest, Honorable Sri T.J. Balnun Wanga, Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Professor Varadendra Singh, Convener and Head Department of Commerce, Dr. T. Satyanarayana, Secretary Indian Society for Agriculture Marketing, and Professor Kumar, Mizoram University, Professor Vadera, Professor Singh, dignitaries of the dais, and academicians, and dear students and researchers of the Mizoram University. So it is a matter of pleasure and privilege for me to be here. This seminar is of course of a very seminal importance to the development of the state. Indeed, if you see, agribusiness is one of the fields of academics that is coming up very prominently in India. Just like the disciplines of management or economics, agribusiness in its own right is a discipline now, because agriculture from the subsistence level is being promoted and has a need to go to commercial level. And when it happens, there has to be agripreneurs, like entrepreneurs in industry. So agribusiness is the need of the hour, need of the day. India, if you see, has long since achieved food security, and India has achieved sufficiency in production of food grains. And agriculture has grown by leaps and bounds. And there has been green revolution. Then again there are debates of late whether green revolution is all that green. And organic farming is coming to the fore. So many developments are there. Now in this context, agribusiness has assumed a tremendous importance in academics and as well as in the practical affairs of the state. So in this context, it is a great thing that ISAM is organizing this chain of seminars in different states. The NABARD is happy to partner with them, to be of some help and should have some contribution in this regard. So I would just touch upon the what NABARD is exactly doing, a very brief outline of that, and also one or two points of importance that has to be kept in mind while formulating the strategy and while formulating the way forward. NABARD basically being an offshoot of Reserve Bank of India, which came into being in 1982, was created by Government of India to cater to agriculture and rural development in a coordinated and holistic way. Basically, in short, NABARD does credit planning, NABARD does refinancing of the banks, it supervises the certain kinds of banks like rural banks and cooperative banks, builds their capacity, then builds entrepreneurship and development pilots with the help of NGOs in farm sector and off-farm sector, and also assist the state governments on behalf of Government of India by extending loans to RIDF and many other funds for infrastructure development of the states. So there are a gamut of functions. Now, so far as agribusiness is concerned, what is important is that NABARD does a credit planning which is linked to the potentials of the district. These potentials are available potentials as well as whatever is coming up from the government sides through plans, programs, budgets and policies. NABARD tries to link it up and prepares for the banks a credit plan which they can exploit from year to year. Then these district credit plans are aggregated into a state focus paper. So that highlights the problems of the state in credit, the steps that should be taken and exploitable potential. So these are reference documents for the banks to act upon. So SLBC or the lead bank system acts upon this and prepares actually bank-wise plans which have to be executed, bank-wise, branch-wise. But the background of that is given by NABARD. Secondly, I have already hinted at the infrastructure assistance through RIDF. There is also nowadays WIF which is important for agribusiness potential. In fact, our minister will be happy to know that Mizoram is recognized as one of the few states which do very good utilization of RIDF. It may be a small state, but there is no non-startup project in RIDF. So that speaks for the efficiency and the dedication of the state government in execution of projects. There is hardly any state in India which is having a non-startup project, and Mizoram is one of them. Mizoram has no non-startup project. In WIF, Mizoram is doing well. There are collection centers, there are storage centers which are coming up. Even this year also many proposals are coming from Mizoram government. Besides this, a micro irrigation fund has been created by Government of India which will be helping in horticulture, crops, plantations, etc. through drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, etc. Then AMIF, Agricultural Marketing Infrastructure Fund, has also come up last year. So a food processing fund is also there. So these funds are administered by NABARD, and these funds, and especially RIDF, has been of seminal importance in creating an infrastructure for rural development and agriculture. Now these apart, in the current year's budget, central government has put a lot of emphasis on FPOs. FPOs is Farmer Producer Organization. That is a kind of a professionalization of farmers, because now production is not a key problem for India, even though production always engages our attention and has to engage. Now the problem in India is of marketing, and for marketing in agriculture sector the importance is we do not have the scale of economy. So aggregation is a challenge. So for aggregation of this output and also for managing the inputs and for accessing credit, FPO is a professional attempt. So there are good FPOs promoted by Mizoram state government departments like horticulture. There are also FPOs promoted by NABARD. Still the challenge is ahead of us. More FPOs are in the offing. They have to be promoted. Then aggregation and bargaining power of the farmers will increase to that extent. So all these are important. Now I was just going through the schedules. It is full of very interesting topics. Two thoughts come to my mind when we go for this agricultural marketing. Very often enthusiastically I have seen in many states many programs start suddenly. There is a Icarian increase, there is a great ambitious increase in the things. Suddenly things also stop. Because marketing arrangements are sometimes very fragile. Supposing there is a tie-up arrangement in a particular company, there is a particular demand in a neighboring country. Supposing that demand fails because of some economic factor or because of some political disturbance, then suddenly that marketing gets jeopardized and the farming also faces problem. So risk is there because it is agribusiness, and business means there will be a risk. Risk cannot be negated, risk has to be mitigated, has to be managed. So what are the risks we have to see? We have to diversify those risks. We have to have wide scale marketing. We have to have marketing inside the state also. We have to have different markets, not only a few niche markets or fragile, ambitious markets. So that aspect also in our strategy, I request that that should be kept in view. Then secondly, the Minister for Environment is here. Environmental consideration is very important. when we are going for development, there is always necessarily a trade-off between development and environment. So we should do development not in a very imbalanced way, but in a sustainable way, so that the future generations also can enjoy the prosperity, the benefits, and the planet and the people can survive. So sustainability also has to be taken into consideration. Operational and marketing risks, including legal risks, all these things have to be taken. Why I told legal risk? You may be knowing. Some years back, there was a lot of brackish water prawn cultivation in the eastern coast of India. Suddenly a Supreme Court case came because of some TIF and the things were banned. So, legal aspects also we have to see. They are linked to the ecological aspect and also to the administrative aspects of the country. So, all these operational risks of marketing and still more important, the environmental aspects have to be taken care of. We have to do development but not endangering environment, preserving environment. Mizoram is a great state. It has got, as Professor was telling, dragon fruit, sacha, so many types of new fruits also, new cultivations also, spices also, and very often they are organic by default. But to get organic formal certification, you have to undergo the process. So that also has to be planned. Again, it was hinted by him that things are in a somewhat scattered way. They are very rich, but they are very scattered. They have to be coordinated. How much we should go for food security? 35% of rice of Mizoram, of the need we are producing. Should we increase it or should we go for commercial cultivation? There should be thought regarding this. There should be comprehensive planning regarding this. The big picture should emerge. The data should be there. So it is not only by pilots, specific good pilots. One has to do the coordinated thinking also. How much we should go for food crops, how much we should go for plantation, because the resources are limited. They are very rich, but they are also limited. So, and how much we should go for high-tech agriculture, so that we can have more crops also in less area. So, all these things also should be thought of. So, risk management, this is a point that should be taken into our consideration while discussing the things. Another thing is sustainability, and third thing is the coordinated thinking of all these sectors, so that the state will develop in a proper way. I hope this seminar will have some positive takeaways and will contribute to the development of the state. And this state is an amazing state with a great ethos, great culture, great civic culture, and a rare type of peace and law and order, and civic consciousness, organizations, the people's culture, ethos, everything is very high. This state needs to be developed and will develop by the grace of God. Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you, sir, for your very informative speech. Sir highlighted few lines. He gave a brief picture of development in the field of agriculture in India. Then he talked about role of NABARD in the field of agribusiness and agriculture. He highlighted select schemes of NABARD. He highlighted performance of Mizoram under different schemes which are being implemented in Mizoram. Then he offered his suggestions to go for sustainable development in the agricultural business, agribusiness. He talked about legal environment of agribusiness. He touched about risk management under agribusiness. So he has touched about all, almost not all, but many of the issues under agribusiness. Thank you, sir, for giving us a way to discuss for next 2 days. We are going to deliberate on all these issues, and I hope we will come out with a good suggestions on these things. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Nandu Singh Kumar, sir, to give a brief speech. Sir.
Honorable Chief Guest, Deputy General Minister of Mizoram, respected Prof. Chancellor, Professor Agribusiness, Dr. P.X. General ISM Hyderabad, and Mr. Nadik from Hyderabad, Professor Batendu, Head of Department, Commerce and convener of this seminar. Today, I am very thankful to stand before you in the capacity of semis. Yesterday, the convener came to me and met me to speak something about, on this occasion, no, on this program, you can speak something about the schools and other things, whatever you like. But I'm not very much conversant with this topic. I will not take much time. You see, Mizoram University have various academic departments. Academic departments are grouped into some, I think, 8 schools. One of schools is SEMIS, we call it SEMIS in short. That is School of Economics, Management and Information Science. Under this school we have 6 PG academic departments and 1 UC academic department. PG academic departments are Economics, Commerce, Laboratory Information Science, Management, Mass Comm and Tourism and Hotel Management. 1 UC academic department is Statistics, which is in Pasteur University College. The school look after all the academic activities of the various academic departments in the school. It's about the thing which are done in the school. Then I like to tell you about this short thing about Mizoram society. I was born and brought up in a very small village of Mizoram. I experienced the working culture of Mizoram society. I also did so many works. You see, the Mizoram society is very much associated with agriculture. All the households are expected to have this June every year. They have to have at least 1 pig or some chickens, I should say. In the society, pig and chicken have impact, particularly in the marriage of our society. I don't tell you much about these things because it is not very much concerned. Therefore, the life of Mizoram society is very much concerned and associated with agriculture. You see, every households are doing their best to have agricultural products to earn their livelihood. They don't like to depend on the others. Even if they don't have money also, they don't like to borrow from the others. They prefer to die. That is the thing. Therefore, they went to live by their own products. At the same time, I should say, in terms of money, the village people are very poor. Once I experienced in a village, they have one small market. In their village, there is no money, I should say. You see, they cannot sell their products. But they are doing like for this barter system, no? They are changing their products. This is the thing. They are very poor. Therefore, this seminar topic is very much concerned with the Mizoram society. Therefore, I feel very happy to have this seminar organized by the Commerce Department and this Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing. But I feel, I should say, upset that the local persons, that agriculture is not participating today. Therefore, what I have in mixed feeling today. Anyway, it will be a very good discussion. When I look at this program and your papers, you are going to discuss about farming, gardening, dairy, and any kinds of agricultural products and marketing and other things. During these 2 days, we are going to discuss 26 papers. These are all relevant to the local persons, agriculturists, and their working cultures. Therefore, I appreciate your papers. At the same time, I have one request to the participants. particularly to the local participants, Mizo participants. We may discuss a lot during our 2-day seminar. It should not be the end. Try to write something in the local newspapers in local language, what we have discussed here. Therefore, the state government as well as the local person will understand what is to be done for the promotion of these agricultural products, marketing and other things. Otherwise, it will be published in a proceeding, some will refer for their PCD, this and that. Nobody will know about your work. Okay? Therefore, this is my humble request to the local persons. Please be attentive and try to write something in local newspaper or in source so that local person can understand and read it. Those, I feel if we can do like this, it will be very, very, it's a good thing for the local person. Therefore, it may develop their working culture or they know something what to do about their agricultural works and their laboring. This is the thing. Therefore, I wish all the participants a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Professor Naguddin Kumar. He is Dean of Civis and he is from Department of Library Science. He introduced our school, the departments under our school. He talked about the development in different departments within the school. He talked about, or he highlighted about the Mizo society, the life in Mizo society. He mentioned that life in Mizoram is very close to agriculture. It is actually part of our life. Agriculture is part of our life. He mentioned that the topic of the seminar, the theme of the seminar is very relevant and very timely. But one thing what he missed, and he is very true also, that farmers are missing, the real farmers are missing. So let's hope, sir, we'll have something which we offer to the farmers to raise their levels and their productions. Then he requested to the participants that the discussion, what is going to happen in next 2 days, should not end with the program. It should continue, it should go beyond, much beyond. It should reach to the real stakeholders. It should raise the life of farmers. And it should not be just deliberated, put in a paper, and that paper is in Almira and finished. It should not be like that. And sir, on behalf of the organizers, I promise, the way we are going to do it, especially 2-3 sessions of technical sessions of discussions, that will be summarized. Then the identified issues in these 3 sessions will be discussed in plenary session tomorrow. Those all discussions we are going to compile in form of some suggestions, and those suggestions will be forwarded to the stakeholders like state government or maybe the central government or wherever it needs, wherever it is required. So on behalf of the organizers, I promise we will take it beyond and it will not finish tomorrow. Thank you, sir, for highlighting all those things. Thanks all at all. Yes, sir. Now I would like to request our chief guest, Sri T.J. Lalmut. He is Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Sir, please.
Professor R.P. Badera, General Manager Nabat, Dr. T. Satya Narayan, Professor Murti Kuma, Professor Bartendu Singh, Professor N. Roken Jo Singh, resource persons and all participants who are present here today. Good morning, you all. It is an honor for me to stand before you to address this seminar. I want to give my thanks to Dr. T. Satya Narayan for offering free training. And another point for that, I want to give my thanks to Chairman that he appreciated and he made a good comment
about my coming here. Simple, but this is what I like. What I want is that simple thinking, simple living, but working for the nation. And I would like to give my thanks to Commerce Department, NSFU, and Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, Hyderabad for their invitation. However, when I received the invitation, I consider that I am considering that whether I am the right person to be a chief guest in this agri-business, since I am not looking after the Department of Commerce as well as Agriculture Department. But after that, I considered that I was involved in a student union, student body in my college time, and I have deep attachment towards the student and their educational activities. So the topic agri-business potential, which is not my portfolio, as I already mentioned that in a minister, as a minister. But I am not thinking that I am not alienated to the subject, since I hail from Champhai, that is eastern part of Mizoram, which hold good potential for agribusiness. I have been involved in the system of agriculture in paddy field and zooming also since from my childhood. So before starting my short speech or long speech, I don't know. Let me start. But before that, I want to introduce who are accompanying me. I want to invite Mr. Inaugural, MCS, my personal secretary, and under secretary, and Julian Sara, he is from my constituency. He is our block secretary in Champhai. And the last one will be Pula Tansunga. He is ex-army of Mizoram National Army since 1966, who fought for Mizoram for Mizoram today. So today I am very interested in this topic, that agri-business potential of Mizoram from the view of my department, forest department. How and why I can say that because of that we are planning afforestation. For afforestation, for having good afforestation program is required that proper agri-business. For that, I am very interested in this topic. So, 60% of the people of Mizoram are engaged in agricultural activities. However, the economic contribution of agriculture sector is low due to limit in the scope of marketing and absence of processing plants for value addition of agricultural produce. Mizoram has favorable soil and climatic conditions which are conducive for agricultural activities. Although excellent amount of various crops have been produced, I believe that the main issue of efficient marketing lies in the value addition. Crops such as ginger, turmeric, passion fruit, citrus fruit, and oranges are produced in large quantity in Mizoram. However, they are being marketed as raw crops without being processed. Being perishable item, the farmers are not able to get their fair share of profit due to rotting of the crops, due to lack of facilities of cold storage. So the perishable items are gone without having a valuation. So if they have been processed and marketed, the value of the product would be enhanced and would be benefited both by the farmers and the active businessmen. Our government, under the guidance of the Honorable Chief Minister, Mizoram, have taken various initiatives in regards to augmentation of agricultural products and agribusiness. Our flagship program, Socio-Economic Development Program, envisages increase of agricultural products and provisions of various infrastructure for promotion of agribusiness. Agriculture Board has been set up for development of agriculture and its related activities. As we all know that Mizoram is a landlocked and hilly state with unfair road condition. Difficulties have been faced by the farmers in marketing of their produce since the only existing routes are roadways. In order to facilitate the farmers, we are taking initiative by the Transport Department for development of inland water transport for navigable rivers in Mizoram. I hope that this will provide alternate mode of transportation which is cheap and efficient. In order to provide wider scope of business, initiative has been taken for establishment of integrated checkposts at Zokotar. You may think that it may be not concerning about agribusiness, but this is one of the important this integrated checkposts in the boundary areas. Establishment of the integrated checkposts will promote the agribusiness through export of the processed and non-processed agricultural products to Myanmar. Apart from Zokotar, effort will be made for establishment of integrated checkposts in other locations of the international border, where border huts will be incorporated. Although the long way, I hope that we will be witnessing a blooming agribusiness in the future. In the line with value addition, it may not be concerned with the topic, but it is need for the farmer. That is, recently the government has amended the Forest Act to pave the way for setting up of wood-based industries in Mizoram. Setting up of wood-based industries will enhance the cost of processed timber, which will be profitable for the people. Raw timber has been sold at low cost, which adversely affect the wood industry in Mizoram. Processed wood will increase the cost of timber and is expected to bloom the timber market. Lastly, I hope that this seminar will bear fruit in bringing about the positive change in agri-marketing and agri-business in Mizoram. With these notes, I inaugurate this seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for inaugurating the seminar. Our Honorable Minister, sir, to DJ Raghov Kongla, sir, has first thank the society for offering training for the needy person. We hope some training, some other services from society will be coming in near future. He highlighted that as he belongs to Champai district, which is very much agrarian based, and his association since his childhood in agriculture and home cultivation. He talked about it also. Thank you, sir, for consenting to come for this program and available before time. I would again like to say, if there is a program in my state, 10:30 starting means we will start at 11:15 or maybe 11:15. But the Honorable Minister came quarter past 10 only, 15 minutes before. Actually, we started our function 10 minutes before the scheduled time. That happens only in Mizoram, sir. I have seen many places, but never started on time. So thank you, sir, for all this. Now I would like to request our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, to come and
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. T.J. Lalwala, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Guest of Honor, Dr. Satyanarayana, Secretary, ISAM, Shri S.N. Malik, GM Nabad, Mizoram, Professor Nurdin Kumar, Dean School of Economics Management and Commercial Sciences, Professor Bhartendra Singh, convener of this seminar and Head of Department of Commerce, Professor N. Ravindra Singh, faculty members, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know what to say because most of things have already been said by all of our guests, our chief guest, as well as our guest of honors. But being a chairman of this function, I would like to share with you some of my experience of Mizoram, and I will be making some comparisons here and there since I belong to Punjab. I have seen what exactly has happened there, and what is happening, what good has happened, and what bad also happened. Friends, as Bhavin said, 34 years of staying in Mizoram or falling. It's almost little more than one generation. Generation we take it of 30 years. 85, I came, spent 10 years in Bachelor College, and 85, I came to Navy at Mizoram campus. And 2001, following my services, got transferred to Mizoram University. And I decided to be here in Mizoram. I did not want to go to Shillong Navy. I had very strong reasons to take that decision of wanting to be here, because when I had come in 1985, there was lots of prejudices which were fed into my mind by the people who had very little understanding about Mizoram. But when I came here, I'll share with you about the simplicity of the people in Mizoram, especially about the political leadership. Little later, even a common man on the street is so simple. I remember it was almost 7 p.m., 17th September 1985, when I put my first foot down in a railway stair to the bus stop through the capital travel bus. I had an encounter with the drinker. Don't be scared of falling. He asked me, "Sir, who are you? Are you a businessman?" I said, "No. I am a teacher. I am going to join Junior University College tomorrow." All his that recklessness was over. He came. He just shook his head and he said, "Good evening, sir. Welcome to Mizoram." can I help you? I said, no, okay. He took my briefcase, there was a bag, it was raining, drizzling a little. I had to stay in the Sagreela Hotel, which is very close to Mizoram house. That was the hotel where I was supposed to stay. He started walking. I said, give me at least one out of this. He said, no, you are a teacher. I am a former student of that college. Started walking towards Agribusiness Hotel. And it was maybe almost we had crossed that the police point, that Assam Rifle police point. One jeep came from behind. Maybe he was going to that particular boy. Stopped it. He asked me to get into the vehicle. Insurgency, you can imagine. I had come before the peace accord was signed. But then sometimes I claim that I brought the peace. I came in September. Peace accord was signed maybe in February 1986, 20th, if I remember that date correctly. And I was coming from Punjab. There was so much of terrorism going on. 80s. People were scaring me about Mizoram. I said it cannot be worse than Punjab. For the insurgency and terrorism, I can understand the difference. Again, got into this, but still there was some fear inside. But then I was young enough. I thought it's open deep. If I thought something goes wrong or falling, I can jump. But anyway, nothing of that sort happened. The boy brought me to the Sagreela Hotel, and he gave the special instruction to the manager that he is from Punjab, give him Ruai food, and then next day morning again he had come to see me. He said, sorry sir, first he felt sweet his apology, sorry sir, yesterday I was done. No, this is the simplicity of the people. Even I'll share with you another story about our own political leader who is presently the Home Minister. He was that time, it was somewhere in 2003 or 2004. He was Speaker of Mizoram Assembly. Old friend, we worked together in Pochaga from 85 or following. And it was 2003, almost 17, 18 years already had spent it here. One day he said, Vadeda, we have not sat together over lunch or dinner. I said, you are speaker, I am a teacher, I'm calling. No, I think I don't dare to invite you. I'm calling. Invite me a speaker, I'm calling. In our society is something so big. He said, no. I said, if that is so, next Sunday, please do come. There is an invitation, I extended the invitation. He accepted it. He said on Sunday, 11 o'clock, I will ring you. If I don't have any other engagement, I will come. 11 o'clock, I got a call from him. He said, Vadera, sometimes he's addressing me by first name, Rampal. He says, Rampal, I'm coming. And the commissioner, education commissioner, Mizoram, he will also be coming with me. I said, welcome, sir. I was waiting in the evening, around 5 o'clock he was supposed to come. A vehicle came. It was taken up. Because my understanding of a speaker coming or falling to anybody's business, lots of security, the commandos and all this, and 2 days before, intelligence people will come, security will come, they verify all this or falling everywhere, then the speaker comes. Vehicle came. I just ignored the vehicle. I thought it might be a security vehicle. A big car with all this kind of protocol, the speaker might be coming. And me and my wife was standing outside waiting for him. Vehicle came. There was a hilly road, a calling took turn. Sir Vadera, what are you looking for? I am here. He himself was driving. His wife was sitting on the side of him. And one security man was sitting in the back seat. This is the simplicity or the political leadership of this particular state. Friends, lots of experiences to share, but today I'm here for a special cause. I congratulate the government for this national seminar on such an important topic, agribusiness potentials of Mizoram. And I thank Dr. T. Sabanaran for selecting the Department of Commerce of Mizoram University for organization of this particular event. And I must also congratulate Dr. Sabanaran for establishing this body in the 1986. And looking into the brochure that he has given me, I am very much impressed the kind of activities that this particular body has been taking up. Friends, as far as my experience in Mizoram, indirect experience related to agriculture or horticulture or following, I have seen real Mizoram. I have visited maybe not less than 400-500 villages. Almost every road. Maybe the political leadership of Mizoram might not have visited that much, seen that much of Mizoram which I have seen. Because I was associated with SSA, I have to visit covers 80 schools or 80 villages, let me put it, 80 villages or 80 schools every 6 months. It was 10 years for that. I visited almost the whole of Mizoram. I went, people are scared of going to Saya. I went beyond Saya, 70 kilometers beyond Saya, I visited those villages. I went even to Malpara, that Bangladesh spot, even that Nulai, that Chakma area are falling behind the river. Cross river to the boat, visited even those Chakma villages. I have visited all over Mizoram. I have seen the ground realities. I will not talk about education today, I will talk about the village economies in Mizoram. I always feel pity on those villagers who do not have much to do, who do not have those comforts what they are supposed to have. Because I have seen these comforts with the villagers in Punjab and Haryana. You go to the villages, you will find palatial houses better than Chandigarh, better than Delhi, 2 acre, 3 acre with swimming pools, all kind of comforts. What you have in America, they have there in the villages in Punjab. You go to London, you go to Purtala, you go to Gurdaspur, and even you come to other districts also are following. Those comforts have been possible because that green revolution could happen. I have seen the Punjab before the green revolution, and I have seen the Punjab after the green revolution. I would like to share a few experiences. As a child, my father was in the land revenue, he was an officer. We used to visit villages with the father, and we used to find the farmer, the Sardaris, which are now moving in all imported cars. Naked, they will not have any shoes in their foot. They will not have any trouser and pajama, they will have only that what you call it, a long underwear and one kurta, and all from 2-3 places. These were the farmers when I was a child. But today farmer in Punjab, he is like a king. But who has made him a king? The political leadership of the state as well as the country. Because that was the period during which there was a shortage of food grains all over the country, including Punjab. We did not have much to eat. I have been always sharing that experience one day. I was maybe in the 2nd grade. I had to stand in front of the ration shop falling for 4 or 5 hours to get 5 kg of atta. Falling. That time I did not understand. As I grew, I couldn't understand the atta which was such a low quality PL 480 gram from America. Under that, falling the rotten kind of wheat used to come. Falling. This is what we Indians have to eat. Falling. But the Punjabi agriculturists, they took almost a pledge that we will make the country free out of this hunger and this kind of begging. We have to go for this kind of food. We are capable, we have all resources. Government of India also came forward, gave lots of support to the Punjab government, and Punjab government also did lots of planning and thinking, and then finally, Punjab could make that green revolution happen. And today's farmer is very rich, very well off. So therefore, my comparison of Mizoram villages and the villages in Punjab, even in Haryana, like our sister's state, even Himachal, is doing much better. You may say that Punjab is a plain land, Haryana is a plain land, but Himachal is a hilly area, like you. They also have similar problems, but they are closer. The advantage they have is very close to Delhi or Chandigarh, or following their markets, agricultural markets, or very nearby. But we also have markets nearby. We have Assam, we have Meghalaya, we have Tripura, we have all this. Like Punjab has Haryana, or this, all this, we have to find the markets. But in the initial stage, farmer was so poor, he needed support. This is the government of Punjab and government we can provide in terms of technology, in terms of seed, in terms of education. Education, I don't mean the formal education. And you might be, my friends might be remembering, there used to be one program called Krishi Darshan, following 1 hour program every evening. Even today, that program is coming. I do not know what the electronic media and even the print media is doing it here in Mizoram to educate the agriculturists, the farmers. I think we are too busy with watching sports channels, music channels, and all kind of English movies and all kind of entertainment channels. Don't have the time. We have not this down that culture among the farmers. That evening, come back from your farm, take a bath, wash your face and legs, or switch on the TV. And farmers, I am talking about that time, even today, when they come back evening home, the Krishi Darshan program, which is only for the farmers, scientists, agricultural scientists from Ludhiana, Agricultural University Ludhiana, or maybe in Hisar, used to come, and they are coming, they talk on the following agricultural issues. And the farmers are also a participant in that particular panels. So I think our farmers, I know it was somewhere in 2008, so when your government was there in power, something was done by your government. It was maybe agriculture produce market control, APMC. Act was passed in 2008, and it has not yet been implemented. The Association of Mizoram, all Mizoram Farmers Union have been demanding for the implementation of this particular act which was passed in 2008. Sorry, it was your government in 2008. I know it was 2008 your government. So we have come back to the power. Please look into. We have been demanding, and they have been demanding for many years. Even I remember somewhere in 2017-18 also they have made some requests to that government following the thing. We need to understand things in a holistic manner. It is not necessary that we have to produce rice. If production of rice is not maybe viable, not very the kind of the strategies, agricultural strategies which we have been using, that what we call it shifting cultivation, or maybe if we cannot produce, because that kind of hill terrain we have here, or even the plain area that we have in the Plasit district or Namit district or Champhai district, if that is not maybe this, we can think of many other things. There are hundreds of other things which Mizoram can produce. The kind of soil we have, the kind of climate we have, and the kind of people we have. Because they are basically agriculturists. I sometimes, in a very joking manner, I call Mizos as the Sardaris of Northeast. They are well-built, strong well-built like Sardaris of falling. They have so much of strength of falling. They look like of falling Sardaris, only they don't have the color of falling. You are friends, sir. You are, sir, having everything around you. You are blessed people. 10 11 lakh population, 21,000 square kilometer of land, per capita land. Maybe this state is the richest. You think of UP, you think of Punjab, maybe around 50,000 square kilometer of land, almost 3 crore people. Divide 50,000 by 3 crores. Here we divided 20,000 kilometers by 11 lakh. When I came, 85, according to 81 census, the population was around 6 lakhs, if I remember correctly, falling. Yes, no, it was around 5 lakhs, which after 30 years falling has become around 11 lakh, or maybe 2021, because the growth of population which is on the higher side, maybe we will be having around 13 lakh population to 2021. Now, even now this 30 lakh population, following the size of land that we have, and the nature of the soil is very fertile, 8 to 9 months the rain, and whatever maybe harvesting sorting system, or falling maybe on the hilltop, that's what Dr. T. Sakararanji was trying to talk about, following that during dry season we have rainwater harvesting system for our consumption at home, but we do not have any rainwater harvesting system for agricultural use. That need to be thought of so that we can do this. Now friends, everything is favorable. Only thing is we have not woken up. Maybe we have become little more lethargic, but the farmers who is actually doing things, he is still ready to do it. It is not you and me who have to go to the field and till the land. So we need to understand that all kind of the factors, the parameters that we require for agriculture or horticulture, they are available within the state. Only the state government has to come up and do little more serious planning and try to understand, following what we used to say, SWOT analysis. Whenever we do any planning for agriculture, planning for horticulture, or planning for anything falling related to other allied services, we may have to do little SWOT analysis. What is possible, easily possible, and what will be more profitable to the farmers. In case of Punjab, farmers are so lucky because that Akali government have been very, very supportive. They announced the procurement price of the rice as well as the wheat in advance. They announced that this year you produce as much rice as you can, as much wheat as you can. The procurement price will be giving 2,000 or 2,500 or 400. Farmer knows before what cost he will be getting. But here our farmer does not know anything. Everything is so uncertain for him. The government, I think, can and should. It is the responsibility of any government, whether Meghalaya, whether Tripura, whether Punjab or Haryana, to hold the hand of the farmers for 10-15 years. But thereafter they will not allow you to hold their hand. Today the Punjab farmer does not ask for any market. He said, you don't bother about me. I know where I have to sell my produce. He is resourceful. He has his own transport. He has his own storage. Some of the big farmers are falling through cooperatives. They have the cold storage. They know when to sell and where to sell. But here the farmer is compelled to throw his produce into the hands of the brokers who come from Karimganj or maybe from Rajasthan or maybe from somewhere else. Because the farmer knows his produce is perishable. He cannot hold it for a longer time. Whatever price he gets, he has to dispose it off at the earliest possible. It is not, friends, production that's important. Production we can increase. The problem is the market, where what the farmer will be able to sell. Let the government, it's not a big state, 11 lakh people, maybe 10,000 farmers, 20,000 farmers, 30,000 farmers. You don't require any serious kind of this planning. Funds are coming, have been coming, how we have been utilizing, and where we have been utilizing, and how effectively the farmers have been using this. We have not committed. We have been passing on money to the farmer, pleasing them, not monitoring whether he is using it for the purpose for which he has been provided, or he is buying television, fridges, motorbikes, spending on all lavishly on the house and all this non-productive items he is spending. But in case of Punjab or following monitoring was there, this support need to be given with proper monitoring. And market is the responsibility of the government is trying to procure their produce. You have the government storage. You develop your big cold storage. I remember when Pullar Chandiana, he became the minister first time. Well, he's a friend and very, very, very close friend. When I met him for the first time, when he had become the land revenue minister, I asked him, Kuchan, I call him Kuchan, I call him Kuchan, how you are going to be different than Congress? What are your policies about the agriculturists? I remember, I straight question asked through to him, and he is a very clever, very intelligent, very sharp man, and he gave me a very, very satisfactory reply. But then I said, Kuchan, I will think about what MNF government is going to do from this. I do not know, sir. You have been there in power for many years. Last 10 years, maybe again you have come. I don't know how many more years you will be there. Maybe another 10 years. But without farmers, without village economy, growing in Mizoram, Mizoram has no future. Mizoram is not idle. Mizoram, the real Mizoram is there in the villages. That we must leave it. That if you look into this, all what we call the primary sector, are not from commerce and management. We talk about the primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, the contribution of agriculture. Primary sector is agriculture, secondary is industry, or tertiary is the services. What is the contribution of this agriculture sector in Mizoram specifically, and maybe at the all India level? It is around 17% of GDP are falling there from agriculture sector. and around 40% comes from industries, and 30%. Around 30% comes from the industry, and 4% comes from the service sector. Now, agriculture. In case of Mizoram, if you look into the contribution of agriculture to the Mizoram economy or GDP or whatever you call it, it's only 5%. The percentage of people involved in agriculture in Mizoram is, the Honorable Minister also had said, it's around 60%. 60% of the people involved in Mizoram in agriculture, the contribution of the agriculture sector is around 5%. In Mizoram, all India level is 17%. Where we are, what are we doing? 86, if 14 plus 19, 33 years have passed after we have got our independent statehood. Everything is in our hand. We have to decide, we have to plan. These are other people. We have to, friends, I think sometimes, as I must appreciate the authorities, those who are there in the power that particular time, maybe Pratap Singh Karo was the chief minister at that time. The kind of support they provided to the agriculturists, that made the green revolution possible. We should also come forward. 10 years, 15 years, 30 years is not a long period in the life of any state and political entity. 10, 20 years, let us hold their hands, give them support, let the government go in the spiritual or even laws also. We don't mind. But for whom? For our own people who are there in the villages. So we have to understand that, we have to plan, and lots of things are possible. Punjab, wheat and rice, these two things. We have many things. We have ginger, we have turmeric, we have banana, we have pineapple, we have even what we call it, jackfruit, even bamboo shoots. The pickle industries, 3 pickle industries. One is jackfruit pickle. Second is this what we call this bamboo shoot pickle. Third is maybe something more is I'm forgetting it. Now, pickle industry, 125 crore people in this country. You cannot supply the pickle on every dining table in the country. You produce as much as you can. Let there be some projects, food processing projects relating to ginger, relating to this bamboo shoots or the jackfruit. 3 pickles, Mizoram brand. Give freedom to the farmers. Produce as much as you can. We have an industry where we will process it and capture not only the Indian market and even the country nearby. We are lucky in that sense. We have 2 borders, international borders. It is a landlocked state from south, east to west through south. Only connectivity there with the Assam, Manipur or maybe between Nagaland. So friends, I feel very bad when I go to a village. I don't find compass with the people living in the village. I think we need to do something for this. And agriculture, business, according to us, is a big potential. Mizoram cannot imagine what potential you have, what you can do. And you will realize it only when you will do it. And things are, friends, possible. They need to be planned, some initiative need to be taken. With this, friends, I once again congratulate the department for having this seminar, and I thank Dr. P. Satyanarayan. And I also thank our honorable chief guest, Shri P.J. Inaugural, the honorable minister, for coming and gracing this occasion. And I also have thank the GM, Shri S.N. Malik of NABARD. And sir, I like it. Your inputs were so wonderful according to the kind of support the NABARD is giving to the agriculturists, directly or indirectly, or falling to the state government or to the banks, or falling, and I am sure falling that in the whole country, NABARD is not only here, everywhere, or from 82 onward, 82, you said 82, falling. I think you might have done wonders in helping our farmers and agriculturists. We thank you for this. And please, in case of Mizoram farmers, if something more can be done, I think we should do it, because this is the only country where the farmers are having committing suicide. That's very, very touching. Farmers committing suicides, those who produce the food for our survival, they themselves have to die because they are not able to get back the cost of their production. This is only one business. Agriculture is the only business where the buyer fixes the price, not the producer. When you produce a crop, you fix the price, whether it be 70 rupees or 50 rupees or 20 rupees. But in case of agriculture, when I produce vegetables, I go to the market, wholesale market, to sell out my produce. The commissioner then sitting there, he will determine the price of my cauliflower or my tomatoes and my potatoes. I will not be able to say that this potato I will give you only 30 rupees kg or 20 rupees kg. It is happening only in the agriculture. Maybe, but maybe he was trying to highlight that the unions and associations, maybe the farmers are not being able to impress on their respective governments to take care of their needs and give them at least following the double, if not the triple, of the cost of production. To me, that would be triple with the kind of work which they do it, none of us can do it. In the psychology, we call it the hierarchy of human needs. The physical needs, the basic needs for survival is the food, and it's produced by the farmer. And all other needs, psychological needs, and other needs comes later. Therefore, I salute our former Prime Minister, Shakti, you said, Jai Jawan. We must, in the real sense, we must salute our farmers. We must salute, because the day we will not get the vegetables in the market, the day we will not get the rice in the market, then we will realize who is important. Okay? And we realize it when I was talking to you about Punjab before the revolution, Punjab after the revolution. Thank you so much, sir. I congratulate the government and wish the seminar to be success.
Thank you, sir, for content-filled speech of yours. I could see an agriculturist, a farmer in him. I could see even an agri-entrepreneur in him. His educationist that we know. He talked about his experience, 35 years experience in Mizoram and even longer experience in Punjab. We were talking about agriculture. He started his speech with sharing his experience in Mizoram when he came. How the days changed from 1985 till now, nearly 30 years. He congratulated the society and the department for selecting the right topic. He highlighted about village economy, the problems, the lack of facilities and other things in the villages, what he has visited in the last 30 years throughout the corners of Mizoram. He compared the problem of farmers in Mizoram with farmers of Punjab, and he mentioned that the farmers in Punjab are very well off, they are very rich, and problem here is just reverse of that, and that is very true. We all have seen this. Farming in Punjab means it is a very big thing. A good size of land, farmer with good size of land means he must be having 4 or 5 SUVs, this is a common thing. Must be having a very big farmhouse. And all those facilities what even we can think of is available with them in Punjab. But when we see farmers in Mizoram, not even 5% of that is available here. And he credited for this development of agriculture in Punjab to Green Revolution. And Green Revolution means the political willingness is required to bring that thing. And not only political willingness from within, from the farmers, from the society, everyone we have to contribute. Government has to provide the facility, and all together if we go, then only that kind of real green revolution will come. Otherwise that will remain only in books. We keep on turning the pages, we keep on reading it, it happened, and it will remain in books. But in Punjab it is on land. So that we have to do. That is his idea in his speech. Then he mentioned that after giving an example to Punjab and Haryana, he told it is plain, but don't worry, don't see it like this, because Himachal Pradesh is doing very well in agriculture, and it is also a hilly state. So being a hilly state cannot be an excuse for less production. Later on he mentioned that 60% of population is contributing 5% of the GDP as GDP. That we have to turn around. That is happening here. He talked about his days as child, when after returning from his school he used to see Krishi Darshan. How many of you learned this word, heard this word? Krishi Darshan, okay, one person is there. I know 1, 2 or 3 more be there. I also not used to see this. But I remember television in my city came around 85, 86. I was 10 years old at that time. So after exams, what to do? TV is a new thing, so okay, exam is finished, I have to see TV full day. Time was 7 to 7:30, I remember. So we used to see Krishi Darshan even for that, because nothing else was available. Nothing, no other channel, no MTV and no this and that. So we used to see. But they have been grown seeing those things. So that kind of thing you have to inculcate from the beginning of our next generation. He talked about a serious issue, APMC Act 2008 passed, but more than 11 years passed, it is not yet implemented, although it is being demanded by different societies, different associations. That is a serious matter of concern. He talked about potential, he told that there is potential in Mizoram. Only thing is we have to translate it into the product. We have to convert that potential into reality. He talked about rainwater harvesting. He talked about infrastructure available and what else we have to do for the infrastructure availability. He talked about better agri-management requirement. We are not having that much of facilities, which is very much required. If I remember, if I quote one of my experience, I saw in UP some 3 years back, or maybe 4 years now, there was a bumper crop of potato. Bumper crop was there, 4 years back. And even for digging that potato out of the earth, that cost was more than the produce itself. But the problem is what the farmers were there, if they don't take it out, that will spoil the land. So they have to take it out. But then labor is required to carry that potato from here to market or somewhere. They were ready to throw it. But for that also they have to pay labor for throwing. Then what happens here in newspapers only, I read, that the farmers, what they used to do is they used to keep all those potatoes in a sack and no need to carry anywhere because no one is going to steal it. So they used to leave it in the land itself. And next day when they used to reach there, potato was there but sack is stolen. So the price of sack was much more than price of one sack of potato. So that was the problem. What we need is management. Agri-management is required. So that he wanted to highlight with this. He gave potential for pickle industry. Some other industries also he mentioned, but pickle one of the things he mentioned. He talked about some serious concern for suicide of organ. A serious thing, the persons who are doing all kind of farming activities for us so that we can feed and they are able to survive. That is a serious matter of concern. He highlighted that nearly 55% of GDP is coming from service sector, 35 or something is coming out of industry, and some 15-20% is coming out of agriculture. Now think, what we need for survival, food. Industry will not give us food, for sure. We can get Maggi, but for Maggi we need maida. For maida we have to go to agriculture. Service will only transfer this thing to that place, that's all. Not providing. We need food to eat, and that is possible only from agriculture. So, government is also having very less investment in agriculture. They should increase, I feel they should increase investment in agriculture so that the problem in agri-business, maybe the agriculture actually should change. And then he ended his speech with a statement from Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, our former Prime Minister, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, very appropriate. We should keep it with us always. Thank you, sir, for all your speech and all the inputs you have given for our next 2 days discussions. Thank you, sir. Now I would request my friend Dr. N. Rokendra Singh to come and offer a vote of thanks.
Minister of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, CDJ, Honorable Vice President, Professor Agribusiness, Honorable Respected General Manager, S.N. Mali, Respected Secretary, Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, Dr. P. Satyanarayana, respected Dean of Semis, Professor Nitin Kumar, our Head of Department, Professor Bhatten Singh, and important people coming from Government of Mizoram, from Navats, Madam Ina Damodaran, coming of next resource persons, I just want to keep some names. Sri Anlan Swana, Secretary, Finance Department, Government of Mizoram. He will be taking one of the resource persons, Chairman technical session, and one, okay, good morning all my dear students, good morning. And I want to, this is my privilege reason to give more of thanks in this important national seminar, Agribusiness Potentials of Mizoram. Agribusiness is one of the currently very much burning area and important also. Now some organic farming, so many things, cultivating very a lot of things from the agriculture. So I am very much careful to give comment all of thanks. I will be giving in a short. So first of all, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Vijay Rajan for his sparing valuable time and coming to press the function and inaugurating the national seminar Agribusiness Potential of Mizoram. Next, I would like to thank our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor R.P. Bhatera, for sparing the valuable time for this inauguration function and giving a speech in the function. Next, I want to thank our guest of honor, General Manager, Mr. S.N. Malik from Nabat, Mizoram, for gracing the function and giving a speech here. Then next I also wish to express our gratitude to Dr. D. Satyanarayan, Indian Society of Agricultural Marketing, coming a long way from Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad, and it has a new and he also has said the state environment, all this is a desert environment. So I thank for coming a long way and giving also the choosing Department of Commerce for organizing such a important national seminar, Agribusiness Potential of Mizoram. Thank you, sir. Next, I want to thank our Dean of Chemist, Professor Murthy Kumar, Professor in Academic Professional Science, for spending time and getting the function because Inaugural program. And I want to thank our HOD, Professor Singh, Head of the Department, for convening and organizing help. He is the one who brings all the efforts such as this. And I also want to express other members who come from state government, from NABARD, and from other departments, professors, and other teachers from different departments of the university. And I also want to thank our students, research scholars, media people, and the staffs of the administration department, Mizoram University, and the staffs of our in-office, Department of Commerce, and all the people gathering here in this function. I once again thank all of you for blessing this function and beautiful this morning. Thank you all.